Good morning, everybody. Well, I can't really say it's morning. It's about 12 noon time right here. But I'm inside in the Tiburon because it's real windy out there. I want to make sure y'all can hear me. I had some wind going through the last video where you couldn't hear. So, and of course it's kind of cool out there. Now, I will be taking taking the video outside to show the rails that I just welded. And like, excuse those welds, they're not going to be perfect, but they're on there, they're welded. I'm going to grind them down, and if I see any holes or anything, I'll go back and weld them up until it's full metal. I have no gaps, no cracks, nothing like that. But they're welded. The passenger side is done. I just got to put the plastic back on the seats. Besides that, I'm going to take the seats out and wash them at the car washer down at the car wash. Let them set out, but I'm going to wait till probably later on this week to do that. Just because it's like 50 degrees and there'll be 50s in the next couple days. I don't want it just set there cold. I want them to dry pretty fast. Wait till it gets back in the 70s. But yeah, besides that, got to make a couple errands today. Get back. I'm going to try to hook the Sun Pro tack up. Hopefully that works. If I can find some real cheap carpet at Walmart today, I'll get some just to put on that metal so I'm not sitting there scratching it up or anything to scratch it up, make any kind of rust come back. I'm going to hook the speakers in, all that today. I do not have an amp for those speakers, but I'm going to go ahead and just run them. Later on, I can put the amp in. It's not going to hurt it. Let's see. Besides that, that's all going to be on part 2. So, yeah. So, let me pause this and get outside, get out of this car, and show you the driver's side rails on the car. Okay, here's the rails for the car. Yeah, like I said, one's longer. The backs are going to be longer than the front because there's a hump in the middle of the rail or the floors between the front and rear floor pans that this will hook on when it's on the bottom. This has a rise on it where it hooks on, so it has like a it's directly an inch. That's going to be 2.5. That's going to be 3.5. Now, sorry, my allergies been real crazy this whole week. And sorry if you can't really hear me well. I'm going to try to talk pretty loud enough to where you maybe could hear me over the wind. But I'm thinking about trimming them down the back straight from 3.5 to 3, and from 2.5 to just straight 2, because with this bracket right here, it is allowing that half an inch. This is not. It's just that right there where it welded to. I have a gap right there. So here comes the wind again. So like I said, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking about doing. Just tape them off at a line and just cut that line to where they're exactly 3 and then 2. And I think that would be perfect on the car. Because they were cut 2, 3, and 2. Just when I welded them on there with what the factory had from Hyundai, it let those lips, they raised it up. So yeah, that's not a big deal. Just measure them, wrap them with tape, and follow that line on that tape, and done. So, and there's the welder that I'm using, the Lincoln welder Weld Pack HD. It works, it welds, but it's not the best welder. I like my nitrogen gas. That's what I'm used to welding with, and that's what I'm going to eventually get. I just got to make a little bit of money first. So, and I've also been working on the Tiburon too. Intake and the cam covers, I guess you can say, because it's an overhead cam. I broke a few bolts in that one. I got to get the bolts out of the car, and then I got to change the lifters because lifters are tapping. I got new lifters setting inside the car, so everything's here. I just got to get around to it, and yeah, I got a couple. Got that one and this one to work on. So, let me go in the house and show you the passenger side. Okay, here is the passenger side. As you can tell, they're on and they're grinded down. I think I'm just going to bolt straight onto there. I think I'm only going to put a bar on there where it bolts in the back. Might just put a washer and a bolt going through here, and then a washer and a bolt on the other side of the floor pan, just bolting in like that. I think that might actually work. Just put a big fat washer on it. Make sure it's black to match the rest of everything. So it's on there, and when I said the car is comfortable, it just seemed like it might have been a little too high, so just trim them down. And there's plenty there. I can always cut it, just can't put it back, so just be careful what I do. So, and then that's the driver's side. As you know, the rails are out there. So, see you in the next clip. What's up, everybody? It's a Sunday in the great state of Oklahoma, and I got a Texas buddy who's helping me rip a rear end out. Don't do that quite yet. That thing might fall. But yesterday I got told I can get an 8.8 rear end for free. It's a 355 limited slip differential, and the only problem is out of an F-150. But hey, it's with a welder, and chopping means we're going to narrow this rear end down. So, and I did get some of the wiring done on the Maverick today. I got the RPM halfway in, gauges halfway in. I think something went out, solenoid went out because the Maverick's not turning over now. So test that one once I get home. But in the meantime, we'll rip this thing out. Just hang on 1 second. This is the truck. They said it's a junker. That's my buddy Richard right there.
Yeah, it's moving free in there.
Yeah, it's not locked up. But oh great, look, it's drums. Oh well, get the conversion for discs. But yeah, it's just a 5.0. So should have a little bit to it. So which in trans code is, or axle code is H9. So that's what it's telling me, 355 limited slip. So being 89, this has 8.8, not the 9-inch. Doesn't matter to me. I really want an 8.8. Parts are cheaper, and they're just as strong as the 9s. So next step is get this side up, and then start unbolting everything and rip this son of a gun out as fast as we can, because he said it's free. I don't want him changing his mind after we're out here. Okay. Rear end is disconnected. It's movable, even though that shock looks like it's connected. It is not. It's just holding up there. Now, drive shaft pulled away from the transmission. Now we're going to get my buddy's F-150 over here, and it's a Coyote 5.0 F-150, so it's awesome. And we're going to hook a chain up to the rear end and just slowly drag it out, because I really don't care as long as it doesn't bend, because front seal's leaking on the third ember, and it's drums, which the whole thing's going to be gutted because I got to cut it. Hey, that kind of rhymes. Gotta be cut. I gotta cut it. So here he comes with the chain.
You got kind of a long chain. We'll need to kind of double it around.
Yeah. Oh well, if we can get it. All right. Let me see if I can hold the camera at the same time. We're getting up under here. I think I'm gonna go right around here. Brake line. Brake line's I don't care. Okay. Reverse it. If I can get it, one hand. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, just like that. So it's pulling on itself. Good. Now where are we going to hook on this thing?
Here, watch this.
I said, where do you want to hook at?
Take it right through my open hitch right there. And we can come around
Yep.
and hook it.
All right, awesome. Let me grab my wrench. I don't want nothing to get dragged with this thing. A socket. All right. Let's see if we can get this thing out. And roll your windows down in case I say something. Yeah. Roll your windows down so in case it starts falling.
Yeah.
All right. This didn't take long at all. Maybe an hour and a half. Yo! Alright, hang on a second. Okay, temp 2. The other side of the e-brake wasn't disconnected. Oh, pull this stuff away. Actually, I don't want my tools lost. Okay, go! It's out. You're good. It's out. I'll just finish disconnecting a few things and throw it in the back of the truck. Okay, we're back home now. I had to take it to the car wash and just washed it off what I can get off. And I didn't get it completely cleaned off, but hey, unbolt the parts off of it. Take some acid, like Purple Power or something like that. Like some really heavy degreaser and clean it off really good. Like I said, get rid of the disc or the drum brake assembly, everything, same way, everything. I'll probably try to keep this line since we didn't hit it or nothing. And just reuse it. I don't know. I might just bin new ones. Take the shocks off, all that, and then figure out where to cut it. I'm actually going to go talk to somebody about doing this. And yeah, now I asked some people, and some of them said, "You're wasting your money. Explorer is a cheaper way to go." Yes, you gotta chop just the right side of the Explorer to bring it back to center. But that requires me going to a junkyard and picking one up, even for $100 or maybe more, because $100 would be going to Oklahoma City, about 2.5 hours getting it. Then that's gas and everything going up there. So I could be in it for maybe $150. And where the place I'm talking about, I've heard that people try to go get a rear end and end up charging them $250 because they're not including everything else, like axles, third member, the brake assembly, everything. So there's a train going by too. So yeah, I could actually be charged a lot more money than what this is. Now granted, I got to cut both sides, get them welded back to bring them both ends shorter, and buy 2 axles and all. But I don't care. This thing will work perfect. And axles are $200, Summit Racing. So that is perfectly fine. And I believe this is a 31 spline. So again, 31 spline, Summit Racing axles are $200 and a few cents. That's really easy to attain. Get them in. After chopping this down, boom, done. Even with the Ford Explorer in there's like 26 inches and something. They're $100 a piece. So, and those are to withstand more power, which I plan on pushing more power in the car eventually. I'm actually thinking about doing turbos. I heard something behind me. But yeah, so the whole plan is with this is, as I said, chop, narrow both ends Get rid of the drum brakes, go with discs, and I might keep the 355s. Again, I might go with 430s or 410s. I don't know. I'm going to ask around and see what's the better deal with also driving on the highway. Hey, and if I'm open to hear your opinions too. If you have a gear ratio that you can think of that will work in my Maverick to keep the RPMs not extremely high for that I can drive it on the highway, then I want to hear it. So, and just a little tell you the combination of the motor and transmission. It's a 302 block with 351 heads, and it's a 5-speed transmission. I can't remember the exact ratio for each gear. And this is the 8.8 rear end. So if y'all want to just comment on below what gear ratio to go with, I might actually choose one of those. I don't know for sure yet. I'm not set on the gearing at all yet. And who knows, I might stick wheelie bars on it. Might actually look pretty cool with wheelie bars. So yay, rear end's here. And I'll show you what I did today in the Maverick, even though it's nowhere near done. So I put some cheap carpet on the bottom on this side. I still got to do that side. Trays out. Wiring is a mess right now because just 4 gauges, 2 toggle switches. I'm going to add another toggle switch to go to the light so I'm not hacking into the old harness. And also gauge clusters out and redo the light in that. Kenwoods are in, and they sound great. So just do a little bit there to put the screening on and actually button them down, and then put the interior back in, seats back in. Be good with it. So I'm actually going to take a break for today. I might not mess with it today, might mess with it tomorrow or Tuesday. So part 2 is actually might go into part 3, who knows.